and welcome to another episode of The Taranique Show. I am your host, Taranique, and on this show, we like to talk about science. So we say where science meets curls and healthy hair is always goals. On today's episode, I'm going to be talking about 6 ways to limit exposure to toxic chemicals in hair products. So you may be doing some practices that you're not aware of, or you're using products that have ingredients that you may not be too sure, if this ingredient is going to be toxic in the long run, if it's going to affect my health in the long run. I mean, we just don't know. It's like every other day, they're like, don't drink water. Water is going to kill you. So we don't know what they're going to say. Who is they? I don't know, but we don't know what they're going to say next. So let's just be prepared to just limit our exposure, by the knowledge that we have, backed by science, so we can just live longer, right? That's the goal, okay? I don't know why I'm laughing, but hey, I just think it's funny because every other day, you shouldn't use shea butter. It's going to do something to you. Coconut oil is bad for you. Like, all these things are bad for you. So, just to be on the safe side, it's better to be safe than sorry. Let's just limit our exposure. And I'm going to give you ways to limit your exposure to toxic chemicals in hair products. Because, come on, you may have like this product that you love using. You've been using it forever. You've been using it like since you was a kid. And maybe it has a toxin in it. I'll give you an example. Well, this product does not have a toxin in it, I don't believe. But I like to use the Palmer's cocoa butter lotion, right? And funny story is, my dad also was using, he passed away last year, so he's been, passed away 1 year. I didn't even know this because I never lived with my dad. But my dad, he also used to use the cocoa butter lotion. So my sister came and she stayed with me, and I was getting dressed and I had my lotion on the counter, and she was like, "Girl, daddy like to use this lotion too." And I'm like, wow. So it's just some products that you just, you like. It's passed down consciously, subconscious, unconsciously, from your parents. And there are just some products that are a staple. A product that's a staple in my house is the Dove Sensitive Skin Soap. I know a lot of people say that doesn't work, but I like it. I don't like to use fragrances, when I'm taking a shower. So I like to use that. That's a staple. Is something going to come out in a couple of years? Oh, you shouldn't be using this. You guys remember the baby powder? The towel, it has some ingredient in it now, and they're saying, if you use this on your kid, you may be entitled to compensation. So you just never know. And growing up in the Bahamas, people used to slap that baby powder on. Me, no. I was not wearing the baby powder. I am dark skinned. I will not be showing up with the baby powder hair. So what they would do is they would take the baby powder, grown kids, in high school, after they take a shower to keep them fresh, and they would put the baby powder here. I remember girls coming to school with the baby powder residue on their chest. Not me. I was not that girl. So now we find out, okay, something is wrong with the baby powder. So this is the way to kind of limit your exposure to toxic chemicals. Even in skincare, right? You want to know what's in the products that you're using daily. If you're going to use something daily and put it on your skin daily, you want to make sure that the ingredients are, 80% natural. It depends on how serious you want to be about this journey, right? Start making your own stuff. That's a good option. Anyway, let me dive into it. Okay. So number 1, like I was saying, read the ingredient labels like you read food labels. So if you're not going to eat it, you don't put it on your skin. What that means, let me a caveat there. You can eat, certain ingredients. You can eat certain ingredients you can put on your skin or your hair or whatnot. But if you see a product has a bunch of ingredients that you absolutely cannot understand, maybe that product is not the product for you. For example, our products, our banana nut and avocado deep treatment. If you look on the ingredient statement, it has banana oil, coconut oil, avocado oil, Like these are ingredients that you are familiar with, that you have seen in everyday life, and that you may even eat, the fruit of these oils. So you want to look for products that have more natural ingredients. Of course, there's going to be some ingredients in the product, like a preservative, that is used to keep the product fresh over time. So there are going to be some ingredients that you're not aware of, but there also are preservatives in food, believe it or not. So when you get your canned goods, that's going to have some preservative in it. If you like, those little, not chocolate bars, but the protein bars, a lot of foods have preservatives in it. So it's like not uncommon for somebody to ingest a preservative. So just kind of get yourself a bit educated on what ingredients are good, what ingredients are bad. For example, for me, I don't like for my child to ingest red dye 40. I just don't like it. I think it makes her more hyper. Or if something has a lot of artificial sweeteners in it. So just as you are cautious about what you're eating, you should be now reading the ingredient statements of the products that you're using. So if you can't pronounce it, research it. That's a rule of thumb. So if it's something methylcholine or whatever, you can't pronounce it, look up online. There's a bunch of sites dedicated to whether ingredients are cancerous, are they harsh, are they harmful. So there is a lot of information out there. So for example, you want to look out for parabens, methylparaben or propylparaben. So how you would know if a paraben is in your product that you're using, at the end of the word, it will say paraben. That's a great example. For example, these are parabens are hormone disruptors. So it's a good thing to know if you are childbearing age and you want to have kids, you want to stay away from products that have parabens in it. They're hormone disruptors, right? So one of the lotions I was using before, and I know that parabens, they are also kind of linked to cancer. One of the lotions I was using had parabens in it, so I stopped using that, and I've been using that for years. So that's an example. Check all your stuff, facial stuff, facial cleansers, facial moisturizers. Check to see what ingredients are in those products and if they are harmful. Then we have sulfates. Sulfates, they just really strip the hair of, natural oils, and they cause dryness. But see, with sulfates, this is kind of tricky, because if you're a person like me who likes to wash dishes on their hand and uses their dishwasher as a drainer, you're being exposed to sulfates all day. Because when you pull out your dishwashing soap, that is more likely it's going to have sulfates in it. So your hands, you may notice, are drier, and that's the main cause, that your hands will be drier if you're washing your dishes on hand without using gloves. Then you're gonna get drier skin from the sulfates that's in a cleanser. That's why we don't want sulfates to be in our shampoo, because just as it strips the hair, have you seen the commercial where they have like the duck that is an oil? I don't know how this makes sense, because they can't get spaghetti out of the the Tupperware. Anyway, they have the duck that's plastered in oil, and I believe it's a Dawn commercial. Then they bathe the duck, with the Dawn soap, and it removes all of that oil. So essentially that's what sulfates do. They really strip, the hair, the skin of oil. So you don't want to be using a shampoo that has sulfates in it, because it will strip your hair of the natural oils. Another ingredient you want to look out for is platelets, often hidden in fragrances. So platelets, not good. Just remember that as a rule of thumb. Our products don't have parabens, they don't have sulfates, and they definitely don't have platelets in it. So you want to look for brands that have some kind of integrity, or they stand by their products, or they have claims that we have none of this, none of that, none of the icky stuff. Those brands are going to be the brands that I would encourage you to opt for. Obviously, Curly Bell all day. So formaldehyde releasers like DMDM, Hyde and Toyne. I don't know, I'm not pronouncing that right. So anyway, look up what formaldehyde releases are in products, and It'll come up. And then mineral oil and petroleum, we all know what they do. They can clog the pores and suffocate the scalp. So as a rule of thumb, you want to avoid petroleum hair care products. I know a lot of you guys like that blue grease, right? I don't know what it's doing for you, but a lot of you swear by it. So hey, I'm sure it's like packed with petroleum and mineral oil, but these are ingredients you want to avoid, right? So tips: Think Dirty or EWG's Skin Deep help decode the labels. So if you have any, concerns about the products you're using and the ingredients in those products, Think Dirty is an option where you can check it out. And as another tip, I use for my food is Bobby, the Bobby approved app. So if I go to the store and I want to buy something, I usually just scan it with the Bobby approved app, and it tells you, is it Bobby approved? Meaning that it doesn't have a lot of harmful ingredients or toxins in it. Most of the stuff is plant-based or grass-fed. This is safe to use. So that's an app that you can use if you are interested in becoming, like, eating healthier. And then if you're interested in your skin and your hair care being healthier, Think Dirty or EWG is another tool that you can use to look up ingredients. All right. And number 2, so number 1 was read the ingredient labels, like you, read food labels. Number 2 is you want to support clean beauty products like our products. Our products are made from natural and organic ingredients. So if you're using these products, you can feel safer. Like, you can feel safe that these products are made from good ingredients. I use them every single day. I also use them on my daughter. I am very conscious about what I put in and on my body. So, there you go. If you're buying from a small business like our business, then you know that we stand for something. But if you're going to be buying from larger corporations, usually their main thing is the bottom line. So if they can skip corners anyway and put stuff in, replace ingredients in products, and they probably will, because it's not that they would be bad people. It's just that when you have a large organization, you have people that are, employees, or trying to get promoted. Like, let's think about it logically. So they're gonna try to find ways to save the company money. And if we can replace this natural ingredient with a synthetic ingredient that's cheaper, they're gonna go do that, right? I can tell you from firsthand, from being a formulator and being a manufacturer, that the ingredients that we put in your products, they are expensive. They are not cheap. We're putting real shea butter in there. Oils like jojoba oil, avocado oil. These oils are very expensive. Neem, moringa. So for example, if we were ever to be acquired by another company, they're going to say, oh my goodness, she's using moringa. This costs a ton of money. She's using a jojoba oil. Jojoba oil is very expensive, by the way. I mean, just ridiculous. I guess that's why people love our Thirsty Girls leave-in conditioner. Because, listen, it's the real deal. Argan oil, very expensive oil. So we're using these very expensive, real, and they're expensive because they are the real deal, right? They then, using an expensive ingredient then also shows up in the product, where the product works really good. That's why you'll see when a lot of companies are acquired, what essentially happens is you'll say, oh, did the formula change? Yeah, the formula changed. They'll be like, no, the formula didn't change. Yeah, the formula changed, because what they're going to do is look for a cheaper alternative to the ingredient that they were putting in the product to make the final product cheaper. So that's a lesson on business. If you are not aware, that is what happens. So why it's important to support small businesses like ours is because we're going to be using the ingredient that we say is on the label. Most small businesses, it's a passion project. We really care about the product. We really care about the ingredients. So we're going to be using good ingredients, right? And it's on a smaller scale. But as you grow and you have more people working in a company, and they're trying to, everything is about shareholders, and they're trying to make the company profitable, the first thing they do is cut costs. And if they can cut costs and ingredients, they are going to cut costs. So support a small business. That's my rant for the day. All right. So look for transparency. If a brand tells you what's not in the product and backs it up, that's a good sign. Like on our products, we have a statement on there that says the no list, no parabens, no sulfates, no platelets, just no, right? Example, us. So look for products that have some kind of integrity and that stand by what they put in their products, right? Number 3, do it yourself when you can. Like, not every product needs to come from a store. Deep conditioner, scalp oils, and pre-poos can often be made at home using avocado, honey, and aloe vera. That's how Curly Bell started, a do-it-yourself project. And here you have it. So sometimes you can just make your own treatments at home. You don't always have to rely on a store-bought product. But the only thing with that is, you're not using a preservative. So do it yourself usually means do it yourself now, and then you just put it on your hair then, and you really can't save a lot for later. Number 4, limit heat and chemical styling. So overprocessing with heat and using relaxers, we know, opens the door for chemicals to penetrate deeper into, your scalp. Choose low toxic styling methods like air drying, flexi rods, and braid out. So air drying when possible. And if you are using synthetic hair, you want to stay away from burning, using any kind of flat irons on them. If you're going to wear a weave, I would recommend you use, human hair, because that is going to be less toxic. We talked about braids. When you're wearing braids with this type of synthetic hair, there's a lot of chemicals, so you don't want to be burning the braid. You don't want to be ingesting that, because then it releases toxins into the environment, but you also into your environment, but you also want to wash the hair, wash the braiding hair in apple cider vinegar to get those toxins, out of the hair. If you are working out and sweating, you don't want to have the hair on your skin like how I have it now. That also creates a situation for, the toxins to get into your skin. So there are things you can do if you are going to be using synthetic products, right? Number 5, avoid overloading your hair with products. This is just a rule of thumb. You don't want to be putting a lot of product on your scalp, right? The more you layer, the more chances there are for chemical reactions with your scalp, itching, redness, flaking, all sorts of issues when you're going to be putting too many chemicals on the scalp, and if you're not going to be practicing a good wash routine. So keep it simple: cleanse, condition, moisturize, and style. Our products are very lightweight, so your hair is not gonna put a lot of buildup on your hair and your scalp. Our products are designed to work together. We do encourage you to have a healthy hair routine, which is cleansing, conditioning, styling, moisturizing, but not piling the products up on your hair or layering them too heavy. And lastly, number 6 is protect the scalp. It's the gateway to the body. So your scalp, believe it or not, is highly absorbent. So whatever you put on your scalp can be absorbed really easily into your bloodstream. Be intentional about what touches it. Use natural oils like our Curly Tropical Oils blend. I had to put that in there. And avoid leave-ins with harsh preservatives or alcohols. We do know there is a difference with alcohols. There's a difference between moisturizing and drying alcohols. So just, open Mr. Google and start searching. Remember, I told you Think Dirty is a good tool to use. EWG is also a good tool to use when it comes to beauty products. And then I like to use the Bobby Approve app when it comes to food products. So let's go over it one more time. 6 ways to limit exposure to toxic chemicals in hair products. Number 1, read the labels. You want to be knowing what's on the label. And the only way to limit your exposure is to know what's in the products. If you don't know a name, if you can't pronounce it, just research it. Think Dirty is an app you can use. Like I said, and EWG is another app you can use. So ingredients like parabens, sulfate, platelets, those are things that you may want to limit in your hair care routine. Number 2, support clean beauty products. I went over the whole spiel about this, why it's important to support small businesses in terms of their products, because 2 to 1. What is on the label is what's going to be in the product. When you buy from bigger corporations, their main objective is shareholder value and bottom line. So if they can replace an ingredient with a cheaper synthetic ingredient, they will do that. They're not going to be buying the jojoba oils, the moringa oils, the shea butter. That's not going to be a high concentration in the product like you would if you buy from a small business like us, because we stand by the product that we are producing because it's a passion product. When companies start to scale, their main objective is to stay in business and their bottom line. So that is also why you'll see small business products are more expensive. Why is it $20 and not $5.99 like this other product? That's because we're actually using real shea butter, real ingredients in our products, right? Real shea butter is expensive. Real argan oil is very expensive. The other guys, they're cutting some corners, right? That's just how it goes. I mean, whether they're doing it on purpose or not, but they're more concerned about bottom line. This is not a passion for them. This is not a passion project. So that's why it's good to support small businesses and clean beauty. Number 3, do it yourself. You can do it yourself. Everything does not need to be bought, in a store. You can make your own mask and your own treatments every now and then, but sometimes it's not feasible because you have a busy schedule. So come to Curly Belle. We're doing it for you. We're making, products made from real ingredients for you. Number 4, you want to limit heat styling and chemical styling. Obviously, if you're wearing synthetic hair, you don't want to be burning the hair because that's going to release toxins into your environment. You don't want toxic hair, synthetic hair to be sitting on your skin for long periods of time. Always wash your hair, whether you're buying human weave or you're buying synthetic hair. Always wash it. Wash it with apple cider vinegar or our almond and shea butter moisturizing shampoo. And number 5, you want to avoid overloading your hair products. So overloading or over layering anything on your hair and scalp, because your scalp is super absorbent. You don't want to be piling on the product onto your scalp. You want to use lightweight products, but you also want to have like a good healthy routine. Cleanse, condition, moisturize, style. You don't need any much more than that, and you want to make sure that you're cleansing your hair very often. Lastly, number 6, protect the scalp. It's the gateway to the body. Like I mentioned, the scalp is very absorbent, so you don't want to be putting a lot of chemicals on your scalp anyway, right? I hope that this was helpful to you. Please leave me a comment if I missed anything, or if you want to add anything, or if it was helpful to you. I would love to hear from you.